And that's where it stays for a lot of aspiring business owners. They've got these plans, these ideas, these visions, but it gathers dust in a drawer somewhere.
Yeah. And I think that's also the other issue, is that some people have too many ideas that they're trying to do. I think for someone trying to start a business, rather start off with something very small. And it's something that you can do yourself.
Yeah.
You know, a skill that you can literally sell to somebody that you can do yourself. That's a business.
And then build.
And build from there.
And then you start building teams and so forth, and plant additional campuses or branches like you've done.
Unfiltered AF, real ones rise, no mask, no flex. Lights on, my check is next. This is the truth, Unfiltered AF.
Welcome back to Unfiltered AF, where we sit down with local business owners who have walked a journey in establishing their businesses and have created their businesses and reached success within their businesses. And today, I'm honored to sit with Michael from Statler Academy here in the heart of Alberton. Michael, welcome to Unfiltered AF.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
It's beautiful to see you again, Michael, and we're truly honored to have you here today. Let's get into it. Currently, you are running Statler Academy. It's a private institution.
Yes, it's a private school. We have 2 schools in Alberton and 1 school in Houghton.
Okay, all right. So, Michael, let's. How many children basically do attend your school, and why is Statler different compared to some of the other schools?
So if I look at it like the whole school, we have about 250 kids if I combine all the different branches. What we do differently is we just want to have kids in a small classroom. So we want to limit the class sizes for the kids. That way our teachers can spend more time on the kids that are in the class to improve their education. And so that's basically what we are offering.
And what was your inspiration to start Statler?
So it goes back. it goes back to the early days, and I think when I was young, actually, I used to go with my parents to church, and then I would sometimes teach kids like for Sunday school, and then I developed that skill set from a young age to know how to manage people who were younger than me. So as I got older, I went to university, and then I was tutoring for money on the side. And why I was tutoring was because these people already went to a teacher or a lecturer where they had 40 or 50, even 100 if it's university people in one class. So they're coming to you because they want one-on-one. So I thought if I open a school that offers like 12 on 1, so 12 kids, 1 teacher, then that limits that, then the kids now don't need to go out and seek other extra tutors on the side because they don't feel like they're getting enough from the school, just as that. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get back to Statler shortly.
Yes.
I want to go back to what sparked your interest in business, in being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
If you go all the way back, what was your very first business that you started?
My very first business was with my mother. We used to collect chicken eggs. We used to have chicken that would lay the eggs. We would collect them. We would try to get more chicken. We would sell the chicken. We would sell the eggs for the ones that were just laying. And that was a very, very small scale business, but it kept me very busy, especially as a teenager. I used to work on the weekends, doing this, doing that. And I think that's what made me realize I prefer to have control for my tomorrow. Whereas if I work for someone else, I don't control my tomorrow. I have a routine that I got to stick to. Yeah.
So have you ever been employed?
Yes.
By someone, by an institution?
Yeah, so when I was in university, I was employed. We used to do this We used to fix cell phones.
Okay.
That was about...
WeFix, yeah,
WeFix.
I remember them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, in Brooklyn.
Yeah, they had a couple of branches in certain malls and so forth.
But it's kind of going down now. I think the Pakistani guys have taken over their business.
Most probably.
Yes.
Okay, and then after that, you decided...
After that, I actually started working for a person where I was marking papers, and on the side I was also tutoring. I didn't stop tutoring. I was always doing it from the time I went into university. So then I was full-time, worked for somebody as a tutor, and I realized I can do this myself. And that's when I opened Statler Academy. It was in 2017.
Okay, fantastic. But you always had a heart to tutor and to educate others.
I think so, and I think it's mainly just the conversations that I have with kids. I think teaching kids is not necessarily about standing in front and giving them all these facts. It's actually just having a conversation. We just say to people, have a conversation. What you know and I know, we can bridge the differences through a conversation. It doesn't have to be very formal as well.
Tell me, with starting Statler up,
Yes.
did you have challenges in starting it up?
We still have challenges till today.
Okay, so give us a bit of insight into some of the challenges you faced starting and currently.
Okay, I think one of the hardest things with starting a school is the schools that we have are, like I said, it's small kids in a class. But you also can't have too few kids in the class or too few kids in a school, because nobody will want to join a school that is just, a few kids. So you have to get that number right, and you have to really invest time and give yourself time for the school to grow. And what I loved about myself was that we did not give up. There were many times I had to, go months without getting paid and all of those things, just so that the school can survive. And I wanted to call in the, quits many, many times, but I thank God that I didn't do that, because now I look back and I'm like, this all had a purpose, this all had meanings. The other challenges you face as you start to grow is you have to know who your ideal customer is. And I've learned that the wrong way, the hard way rather, I would say. We've accepted kids in our school who maybe were not the correct fit in our school. And just that one person can throw you off. So we're not trying to appeal to everybody to say, come bring your school if you Tom, or Harry. We have a specific criteria for a child that fits into our school. And to find that specific child is very, very difficult.
Okay, so it is more premium and it's more exclusive.
Yes, I'd definitely say that we are definitely exclusive.
So you touched on something when you explained some of the pitfalls you face and so forth. That there were times that you felt like giving up.
Yeah.
So what did you do to not give up? What pushed you through those challenges?
I think like I had to tell myself this. Even today, you still get that feeling sometimes when work is really pressured. You just say, let me just sleep tonight. I'll wake up tomorrow. And when I wake up, I'm always like, I have to be positive. I need to get through the day. I need to get through the week. I need to get through the month. So I think it's not focusing, like it's very easy if you're having a bad day to focus on what made the day so bad. But I tend to shift the focus on what am I going to do tomorrow? And once you do that, then I think I'm always having that positive outlook, which helps me then get through. Yeah.
Some individuals think it's easy to run a business. They look at it and say they've got freedom, they've got a better life, and they've got more time, they've got more money by running their own business.
Yeah.
How true is that?
I actually disagree.
And please tell us why.
I disagree. I think that when you run a business, you may talk about time. You don't ever have time for yourself. You don't have time for your family. You sacrifice all the time. That's the first thing. The second thing is that, yes, there is opportunity to be financially, great on a financial level. But at the same time, you also take the risk of the business. So something can happen where you're doing well, but you have to sort something out. And as a risk taker, it all falls on top of you. So it's not easy. And I think it also takes a very long time to get to the point where financially, you can say I'm comfortable. I think for most people, at least 3 to 5 years of running a business day in, day out, where I think you will be able to say, I am now okay financially. And
tell me your team. How big is your team?
So we employ 37 teachers and then about 5 or 6 support staff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not a small operation, is it?
It's not small, but it's basically, instead of being in one area and focusing on one big school, we have divided our attention to say we're going to have these schools, we're going to keep small schools in different areas. Yeah. So it is big if you add everything up, but still not as big as the other big schools in the country.
But how do you manage a team of 30 plus people, teachers, support staff?
I think it's very difficult. My relationship with all my staff is very different, but it's very important to have the relationship with them. What I've noticed is that, like, investing that 2 minutes to talk to somebody, also like to go out on, functions with the teachers. It's very, very important, because then you get to understand who they are and what their goals are. And then I look to see, could I somehow help them reach their objective? So many of my teachers, for example, we help them further their studies. Some people, for example, some of our ex-students even will come to me as soon as they finish school, and I'll give them like a small job. Help me make a schedule, help me this marketing, help me that marketing. And some of those people end up working for me, where I actually pay for them to go study education at school, and I keep them. And those are actually some of the best employees that I have, the people who I've invested in. So I think it's knowing what people want, helping them achieve that. And I think because I'm in the education space, it's always easy to tell someone, hey, listen, I think this degree is right for you for what you want to do, and that degree is right for you. And then we always talk about, okay, can you finance it? And I'm like, okay, I'll finance it. And that's how we basically work.
And tell me the children, the kids, your students.
Yes.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you appreciate them?
I think it's 10 out of 10.
Okay.
I think it's 10 out of 10. I think there are things I appreciate about them. That's why I say it's 10. But there are also things that I don't appreciate about them. But what I look at is I was also a child myself, and I also had many flaws, just as they do. So the kids need to have someone who's patient enough to understand that they're imperfect and that they need time to grow into who they're supposed to be. So I appreciate my kids. I communicate with my kids. All my kids love me. I mean, I go to school, I can't even walk for 2 seconds without someone saying, hey, it's Mr. Michael. What's up? What's this? What's that? So I'm very involved with the kids.
Now tell me,
Yes.
I know a couple of teachers
Yes.
and educators.
Yes.
And stories I've heard, kids is one part.
Yes.
But what's your thought around parents and parents?
Yeah.
I'm sure Statler doesn't have an issue with their parents at all.
Yes.
They're all amazing.
Maybe
they
they
don't
do.
give you grey hair or anything like that.
They do. They actually do.
So how do you manage
Yeah.
that? Because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
the parents and their kids are also, from a private point of view, they're your
Yeah.
clients as
Yeah.
well. If you
Yeah.
look at it like that, there's a value exchange between you, your school, and the parents. How do you manage those relationships?
I think that step one is to have a backbone. Because the parents are paying for you, sometimes they think they own you. So sometimes, especially when we were younger, parents will come and say, if you don't do this, I'll take my child out of school. And there were times where I fell for that trick when I was still younger. But now I'll say, take your child out of the school. I won't even charge you notice. Because in the long run, they will take the child out of school anyway. So you have to have that backbone where it's like, I'm doing what I believe is right, no matter what someone says to me. The other parents are quite difficult in the sense that they are very protective over not like protective is the right word, but more like it's unnecessary protection. I think kids need to have scars on them, you know? Nothing is perfect. And those scars are what make the kids learn from their lessons earlier. But there are parents who want to sort of filter their kids from what the real world is. And I think that is a very big mistake that you're making, because now your child is growing up with half truth. One day they will realize the truth and it will hurt them in a different way, as if you're just being honest with your child and say, listen, this is how we do things, this is how we do stuff.
So would you, if you refer to scars, would it be in terms of children being disciplined, in terms of having a tough conversation with the child, so they can understand where they're at and what is the perspective of the school as well, and to assist that child in becoming a better
version of themselves.
Yes. So that's what you refer to by saying scars.
I think that is one of it, but also, for example, a teacher. Different teachers have different styles. But what the kids will say is that if all the teachers, if say 50% of the teachers teach this way and the one teacher is different, they will end up saying like, I don't want that teacher, they teach me differently. But when you go to university, when you're in the real world, you're gonna meet people who will teach you the same way. So as a child, you have to be very open to what you're receiving. And that is very important, because when you are in life, you'll deal with different people, different bosses. Some are more strict, some are more flexible. So it's important that you know that as a parent, that your child is not going to school to have a great day. They're going to school, it's like a battle. They're going there to struggle. They must struggle. They must work hard.
Well, it's an opportunity for growth.
Yes.
so that they are equipped and geared to go into the workplace one day or in business themselves, but then they can deal with some of those challenges they might face.
Exactly.
Right. So
Exactly.
you're not talking about physical scars
No, not physical scars.
or even emotional scars.
I think emotional scars are very important for kids, and I think that you can't run away from it. It will happen. Some kids, for example, they're going through situations where their parents are getting like a divorce or something, and that's life. You have to go through it. If parents try to hide that from the kid and the kid finds out too late, I've noticed these kids struggle for years, even after the divorce, because they were not really immersed in the discussions as to why this happened and all of that stuff. So it's about being honest with your kid to the best of your ability. Yeah.
Okay. So with the kids being through Statler,
Yeah.
becoming young adults, going through varsity and into the workplace and so forth, do you have any kids that have achieved greatness? I'm sure everybody achieves greatness, but who became CEO of listed companies or started their own businesses, and it's massive businesses today.
Yeah.
Do you have a couple of those success stories?
We have a lot of those success stories. A lot of my students started to graduate from university 2022, 2023 time. The one that I would love to talk about actually is one of the teachers at the school. I taught him when the school was so much smaller. And he's now a teacher. And when he teaches the kids, everyone's like, we want to be taught by this guy. And I think by building that relationship with him, it wasn't just me teaching him. I advised him with what he must study. I helped him get into the university. He graduated, and he's working for us now, and he's excellent. And I look at him and I'm like, I've seen people your age who have worked for me before, but they're not on your level. And it makes me feel very proud that we can produce people like that. Yes. Okay. Majority of our kids actually go into business.
Okay.
So a lot of the parents have businesses themselves. So what I tell the parents is, don't try to be that like, my child must do law, my child must be a doctor or an accountant. Especially if you have a family business that is already existing. The easiest business to turn to a success is a family business. So my kids will then go to university, they'll study part-time. Then they end up running their parents' business. They end up getting a lot of skill as a result of that. So we have a number of kids that actually, even right now, are going to Cape Town for business meetings. They haven't yet graduated because they're studying over an extended period. But I just feel like the experience they have and the exposure at their age is definitely above someone who's in that age group.
Oh, well, amazing, Michael.
Yeah.
So what is the future for Statler? What's next?
What's next? I think we're going to keep opening new schools, keep going into new locations, keep putting our name out there. We also want to extend the curriculum that we're offering. We've applied for next year to also be doing IEB.
Okay.
And I think once I tap into that IEB market, things will really start to change, because right now we're doing a different curriculum that most people don't even know of. But if it's IEB, then we can actually compete with other schools that are quite well known. Yeah.
So it's the next phase of growth for you.
Definitely.
Fantastic. So as we start wrapping this up, Michael, you said there were a couple of times you wanted to give up.
Yeah.
And I do believe most business owners and entrepreneurs feel that way every now and then.
Yeah.
What word of advice do you have to our listeners who's watching this now and who says, I don't know if I can continue with my business. Should I jump ship or should I persevere? What advice do you have for them?
It's a very tough one, because I think in business, you have to die sometimes. I'll give many examples of when I tried something out in business and that particular thing failed, but then that pushed me to the next thing. I don't think, for example, closing down a business or whatever is really giving up. I think it's all about what are you going to do tomorrow. So always have like an escape plan. Even if you open a business today, I say to people, you need to use your skills to generate like a service almost. Because if you can sell your skills, even if you decide to downscale your business, you will never truly be someone who's sitting at home doing nothing. So if you have skills that you can definitely replicate and reproduce, then there's no reason to give up. Just maybe change something, Maybe it means you move different areas. We've done that before. We've moved from, for example, North Riding to Houghton, and Houghton was just far better than North Riding. So many times I've had to close down this particular branch when we were in our earlier days for multiple reasons. And so basically what I'm trying to say is, just because you stop something specific, it doesn't mean you're giving up. If you have skills, if you learn something, you're better off trying it again because you have a high chance of success.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's basically a trial and error thing.
Yes, it is.
And it's by adapting.
By adapting, and also by just knowing what to do next. What am I going to do tomorrow? What I want to do the next day? And not just what I'm going to do, but actually doing it.
Yeah.
Most people, I feel like,
action.
Most people don't take action. Most people think they take action. Taking action and thinking you're taking action are two different things.
Yeah, it's always easy to, well, not easy, but the hype about building your own business plan and so forth, but that's where it stays.
Exactly.
They've got these plans, these ideas, these visions, but it gathers dust in a drawer somewhere.
Yeah. And I think that's also the other issue, is that some people have too many ideas that they're trying to do. I think for someone trying to start a business, rather start off with something very small. And it's something that you can do yourself.
Yeah.
You know, a skill that you can literally sell to somebody that you can do yourself. That's a business.
And then build.
And build from there.
And then you start building teams and so forth, and plant additional campuses or branches like you've done.
Yeah.
And that's how you scale.
Exactly.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay, Michael, so any final thoughts from your side?
Final thoughts. I would say that too few people, in my opinion, are in business. I think from my perspective, at least 50 to 60% of the population, especially young people, should be in business. And the reason for that is some people will work for someone, but they're not actively trying to improve themselves. But when you work for yourself, you are forced to improve yourself. So you could be self-employed for the next 3 or 4 years, and you go to a company and say, I'm done with this business, I want to work for someone now. I promise you the company will give you a better offer if they find out that you were self-employed than if you work for somebody, because they understand that by working for yourself, you are forced to improve. Whereas when you work for somebody, you can improve, but you can also, you don't have that pressure to improve yourself as well. Yeah.
Michael, thank you so much. Thanks for sitting down with us today and sharing your story and some of the pitfalls you faced and how to overcome that and inspiring our viewers. So I trust you were inspired today. But if our viewers want to learn more about Statler Academy or you, or they want to inquire about what's the potential for their kids to join, where can they get hold of you or your team?
So they can just go on Google and type in our school name, Statler Academy. They'll see a number over there. It's a 064 number. You can WhatsApp us. Okay. We will get back to you. We will see what we can do for you. We're not also just looking for people to come to the school. We're actually also looking for people to partner up with. For example, if there's anybody in the psychology space that would like to talk to the kids about mental health. Another example would be career guidance for kids. People like that, those sort of specialists. We would love to work with those other people. And also like universities, tertiary institutions. Every year people come to our school to give our kids talks on why they should go to that university. Those are the kind of people that we would also like to reach out.
Yeah, to invest back into the kids as well.
Definitely.
So Michael, thank you so much once again for joining us today and sharing your story with us and our viewers. And then if you found this valuable, please like, share, subscribe this episode, subscribe to our channel so that more people can view this. And then also to view new episodes coming out on a weekly basis. Thanks for being here. See you next time. Cheers.
Unfiltered AF, real ones rise, no mask, no flex. Lights on, mic check is next. This is the truth, unfiltered AF.